Welcome to another edition of Friday at 420. My name is Mike Neighbors, your host for the next 40 minutes. We are going to make you titter. Yes, we are going to, because I can't, you know what? I mean, we've promised, we've attempted to make people laugh is strong. That's a strong word. So I thought maybe we could make people snicker. We can make them smile a little. Give them something to think about. What do you think,
chuckle.
Patrick?
I think
a
that's
little
good.
chuckle, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to overpromise.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
We ran out of our money-back guarantee.
Yeah, no, don't bring back the money-back guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday at 420. Of course, that voice you just heard was our good friend, Mr. Patrick Coppolino. How are you, Patrick?
I'm very good.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Yes, thank you. What's going on, man? You got to tell me about the FedEx guy. Because there's, I guess, a FedEx
Speaking
guy.
of the money-back guarantee, I thought this was the first person coming to collect.
Coming to collect.
Because normally the joke is they don't know where to find me. But
right.
Yeah, so I was out front of the club last Friday. And of Levity Comedy Club and Lounge.
Oh, yeah. LevityComedyClub.com.
I was just putting the sandwich board out for that night's shows, and a FedEx truck came by. He's like slammed on his brakes, backed up. The guy got out. He comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, this might be a weird question, but are you Patrick Coppolino?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, no way." He's like, "I was literally just listening to you on Funny 820. I'm like, "That's awesome." And then he's like, "How'd you get here so fast?"
Yes, how did you?
Yeah. And then I had to break it to him that
that's sometimes pre-recorded.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take our hearts away from being with you on Friday at 420, and that is what we are doing right now. That is awesome. So hi to the FedEx guy.
Yeah, as all the people that have come up and said they're fans of the show, I also forgot his name.
You did not get his name. That's good. But I think it is funny that you thought maybe somebody was coming after that money back guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Like, the way he aggressively got out of his car, I'm like, I don't know what I did to this man.
It's like, oh, no, he wants the dough.
Yeah.
Sitting next to, actually standing next to Patrick, as he always does, lurking about in the studio. It's Mr. Manolis Zontanos.
Hey, Ticanis.
Take an E, my friend. How are you?
Dude, the only difference between me and Pat's usually that with me, if they realize it's me, they're driving away.
That's right. They're running.
Yeah.
They're running.
So that's a good story, though.
Okay. You know what? It is. It's nice when we hear from people that they're enjoying the show, that they're enjoying this.
I'm so used to
little thing we're doing.
It's the same thing. I'm so used to if someone wants to talk to me. It's like, hey, I'm like right away. I'm like, what did I do, dude?
Yeah. That'd be good.
I'm like, I haven't been laid for months, so I know I didn't bang your girlfriend. Please, come on, let's just be nice, right? And then all of a sudden they give you a compliment. And you're like, oh,
you listen to Friday at 420?
You're nothing like my dad.
That's awesome. Yes, I've never had a compliment. Please, now, let's us all get together and join in a nice, soft round of applause for our special guest, Ginger St. James.
Hey.
How are you, Ginger?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I was saying it was the last time that we had you in here. You're an illustrious Hamilton songstress. And the last time you were in our studios here, you were working with Cadillac Bill. You were hanging out with Cadillac Bill.
Yeah, the Mr. Cadillac Bill show on 2820.
We loved the Cadillac Bill show, and it was too
too.
bad we couldn't keep that going. But Cadillac Bill's such an awesome
There's
dude.
so much more, though. We were just talking about that. So
Yeah.
Cadillac Bill show may have left here, but there's more to
There's
him.
always more going on with Cadillac Bill. And how about with you? Now, you do a lot of work with the Casbah. You put a lot of shows on there.
That's right. So I'm a concert promoter, booker, and a bartender at the Casbah.
You got it all going on.
I got it all going on.
You're kind of like Patrick at Levity.
Hands in many pots.
Yes.
And so I throw shows that fall under the Roots umbrella. So, like anything country, blues, rock and roll, stuff like that. Yeah.
So check out the Casbah
Check
for
out the
all those
Casbah.
cool shows.
Please.
How often do you put shows together? Like monthly, weekly?
It all depends. Like a couple times a month.
Okay.
Couple times a month. So we're
Get a good show going at the Casbah?
all the time. AAA, grade A, top notch Canadian talent.
And that's really where your heart lies musically,
It's
isn't it?
true.
In the roots, the
That's
traditional.
right. I just traveled about 16,000 kilometers in the past 27 days. I got home last week.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
Just
played,
all over? And
Well, I went out west. I played on the Via Rail.
Oh,
They have
okay.
a program called the Artist on Board program. So anybody who's a musician wants to play for their ticket, it's a good deal.
Really?
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
cool, eh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's great. And then bopped around BC and Alberta, put some miles on a truck, and then went over to Vancouver, missed a show. Sorry about that. And then I took the train back 107 hours
Wow.
from Vancouver to
The train
Toronto.
is it really is remarkable because I've been fortunate enough to take the train across a big chunk of this country, and it is remarkable how freaking big this country
it's
is.
huge. It's 37 hours to get out of Ontario.
Yeah, and I know people
37.
who've driven and stuff like that, but I think driving you're kind of like riding on the train, you're able to sort of look around and see it all, right? And the wilderness, and it's just incredible.
You can also leave the people you're with and go to a totally different car. Which is perfect,
wander around. That's why they don't. That's why they don't allow comedians to do the artist on the Via Rail too, because they'd all just be in the bar car. You'd never get them out of the bar car, would you, Manolis? No, never once.
No, and then the fact that you could leave, then I'd just be in a cart by myself.
It would just be in the back, the luggage cart. All right, Ginger, well, thank you so much for dropping in and playing our little game with us. We've got 12 random topics in official Bell Media envelopes. They're official because they say Bell Media right on them. And you're going to drop the Plinko puck and get our game going here on this Friday at 4:20 with Ginger St. James.
Here we go.
All right, drop. Yeah, here we go. It's very exciting the first time. Yeah. After that, it will become tedious and boring. Number 6. I love Manolis is giving me the fingers on that one. That was the... Are you sure it was number 6?
This many.
Give me this many. Many. Did you count them?
I can only go past. I can't go past 10.
Oh, of course not. Well, no. If you do, then it gets really ugly for everybody in the room.
Shoes off.
Ginger St. James. Here's your first topic on Friday at 4:20. Do you believe in soulmates?
Oh boy.
Oh,
well,
see, that's big topic.
I guess.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think like there's
because it's plural, so soulmates.
Okay, yeah. As long as there's more. Have you met? Was there ever a connection in your life where you kind of went, "Wow, this is just like we fit too well together to be an accident."
Well, yeah. I mean, sure, but it's like butting heads, so it's like you're so the same. You're like when you put two magnets together the wrong way, they just sort of push away. But I feel there's lots of connections you can make throughout your life,
right?
And some of them last longer
so,
than others.
So do you believe in?
I do.
The pluralization, though, that you can have many people you connect with on that level.
I believe in that. Yes,
okay.
I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who always wanted to singularize it, but at the end of the day, there's probably a lot of people you could have a wonderful connection with.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
And why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't tell me I can't.
No! Don't ever tell Ginger she can't do something. Because, damn it, that's going to be done. All right, Mr. Manolis Zontanos, do you believe in a soulmate out there waiting for you?
I usually believe in it once they want to break up with me. And I'm like... it's more of like an negotiation.
No.
I'm like, but we're soulmates.
But we're soulmates.
Like, come on, what are you talking? Can you feel this?
Feel this? Can you feel it?
And they're like, no, I don't think so. No, I think it's a thing, but like you're talking about many different people through your lives, and I'm into swinging too. So it's like, whatever.
Swinging soulmates. That's a whole new category.
Polyamory. Whoever that dude is, he did a great job.
I love Paulie. He was awesome.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think.
Do you think there's one for you? Do you think right now, Manolis? Listen, you're by all stretches of the imagination, you're an old dude. So, do you think there's still somebody that you're going to connect with and live into old age with?
Maybe. Yes. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think some
girl.
Not
possible. Do you believe it will happen or not?
Do I believe?
Yeah. Or do you think you're just destined to be an old spinster?
I believe eventually. I can't. I've watched so much porn, my friend. I think I'm like.
It has nothing to do.
No, but I don't think there's anything like. I don't think there's anything left for me to watch.
Okay.
So I think eventually. I think it's time for me to go to the next stage of my life is to be with a person.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes.
No, that's excellent. I like that. I also like the fact that he has seen all of the porn, but all in 2-minute clips. Because he won't pay for it. Patrick Coppolino, do you believe in a soulmate?
Yeah, but I think a romantic soulmate's harder to find. But there's platonic soulmates.
Okay, that's good. That's a whole another area, right? It doesn't. I never said anything about romance.
Manolis didn't mention it, but he's my platonic soulmate.
See, you guys are like hooked at the hip.
But there's like just people in your life, like even like I have friends that I haven't talked to in a long time that I would still consider. Like one of my closest friends, people you connect with on that level. But
do you think romantically there's a soulmate in your future?
In Manolis, yeah. Well, let's see what my wife thinks. Yeah, no, but that's a good example because she's someone that I remember this saying. It's like don't marry someone that you can see yourself living with. Marry someone that you can't live without.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, you know
so
what I mean.
Is that how it works?
How it is.
That's how it is. That's awesome.
But
yeah, I think that The problem, I guess, is that sometimes our soulmate, it's not an exact fit.
No,
right? I mean,
yeah.
there's the connection's so deep, but at the same time, there's a lot of. It doesn't like all the sprockets don't fit into the gears, right? I mean, there's some things like, well, okay, well, yeah, if we don't get along on this,
yeah.
we don't get along on that.
The
but you could still be
misconception-
completely connected on a deeper level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think some people watch too many movies.
Well, that's
and they think like the perfect relationship is supposed to have like no fighting and yeah.
That's not true. Even Manolis and I fight. Manolis, drop the Plinko puck. Let's get another topic here on Friday at 4:20.
Number 8.
Number 8. This is Manolis' topic. Ginger, you feel free to jump in anytime you like. Shampoo and or conditioner.
For what use?
Patrick's going to love this question, by the way. Do you just use a shampoo? Do you use a shampoo and a conditioner? Is it pre-mixed? Is it, what are you using right now?
When hair was longer, I would
Great looking hair. You got really good, healthy looking hair.
It's Rogaine. It works.
That's good.
When it was longer, then I'd have to wash my hair. Now, like I just actually honestly don't wash my hair.
You just jump in the shower and just shake it all out.
Yeah, I rinse
Okay,
it, but I don't. I haven't washed my hair probably in probably several years.
Wow.
Yeah, I really don't.
Really?
Yeah, I find
That's
it
kind of crazy, man.
because it works, but I think if you have longer hair, it's harder to like.
Absolutely. Because it gets greasy or whatever.
But when your hair is short, it's not as.
It's not a big a deal.
But natural oils apparently, like almost where they're like, and it goes through your hair.
Yeah.
And I think it works when your hair's short.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't wash it, man.
You've never made the connection between not washing your hair and not having a girlfriend. That connection never dawned on you at any time.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a really special episode.
This is finding out a lot. Patrick, I guess there was a time
when I had hair.
when you had hair.
It was mostly shampoo, but with my beard, I actually like condition it.
Oh, you'd put conditioner.
It's awesome
I was going to
when it
ask
goes
you about
so
the beard
soft.
because, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people with beards just do what Manolis does, which is they don't particularly wash.
I think it's all like bristly.
Yeah.
Like pubes.
So you use conditioner in your beard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Ginger.
Well, I have like a hair wash day. So I look forward to it. I have what they call showgirl hair. And
Okay.
I want to get into heaven. The only way I can tease my way in there is by teasing my hair.
Yeah.
And
so it's a whole ritual for you.
So it's a ritual.
Yeah.
And then that way, when someone calls that I don't want to talk to, it's really, sorry, I'm washing my hair.
So that really is a legitimate excuse.
It's a legitimate excuse.
Okay.
It's a wonderful day, too.
So what would that hair day treatment look like for you?
You could do
shampoo, conditioner.
Well, shampoo and conditioner for me because it feels glorious. But if you get the 2-in-1, it sort of counteracts each other because you're washing away the conditioner with
That's right.
the elements that's
See?
created in the shampoo hair washing.
They cut you a step out, but the only thing is, I think they've done more damage to your hair.
That's right, in your wallet, because then you're going to have to go buy conditioner.
Yeah. So you like to use the conditioner?
I love the conditioner.
Okay, yeah, because it makes it all soft,
It's all
right?
soft and silky.
Nice.
It's great.
You have great looking hair,
Thank you.
Ginger St. James. Hair tips by Ginger St. James.
That's right.
Let's get up in Plinko. Drop the Plinko puck, Mr. Patrick Coppolino. It's Friday at 4:20. Ginger St. James, our special guest in house here, and she, of course, puts on lots of great traditional roots shows at the Casbah. If you want to check out what's going on at the Casbah, Ginger would be happy to help you out with that.
11.
Number 11. Topic number 11 on Friday at 4:20. Here we go. Do you discuss politics or avoid politics, Patrick Coppolino?
Avoid.
You avoid at all costs. You don't.
No, I don't. It's not a conscious decision, but I've never been politically inclined.
Yeah.
And
Are you getting more politically inclined as you get older? Do you think there's a sense that you have a daughter that you have to look out for? There are decisions being made on behalf of all of us on a regular basis that will impact you.
I understand things on a very basic level, but
okay.
Yeah, I can't get into a political debate.
And what happens when people around you are having a conversation? Do you just not take part?
I zone out.
You kind of zone out.
Yeah,
You're
I know
here.
Justin Trudeau's the prime minister.
Oh.
And I know.
Okay, well, that's an excellent start.
I know.
He has nice hair too.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And he's not good at Halloween.
Depending on when this episode airs, he might not be prime minister anymore, which will be really funny if that's the case. Because, you got that one wrong too. How about you, Mr. Manolis Zontanos? I know you're a big fan of political debate shows, right?
It is shocking. It is. But I love watching people talk about politics.
Yeah.
And I am.
Does it change your opinion listening to them, or do you just like listening?
I think I'm just constantly fascinated by legalized crime. You know what I mean? Like I'm fascinated, like how everybody.
I know what you mean.
They're like everybody.
The corruption going on, the horribleness,
the battle
lying.
between conservatives and Republicans. I mean, conservatives and liberals, but the whole time is like they're more concerned about who's in position of power than doing anything for the people.
Right.
But then when they get in the position of power, they still like, we'll get that. We'll do that in 4 years or whatever it is. And then like, how in the world did Justin Trudeau, this scandal not coming out the first time he was running? Like
the blackface, brownface.
Yeah,
scandal?
like the one picture I think was like wasn't it from a yearbook?
Yeah, yeah. There's one from 2001, one from 1991.
What are you talking about? Like, what team? What kind of team do you have that you didn't pull this out the first time?
Find this originally.
If you're trying to take him out now. How about the first time? Like
it's a very interesting point, isn't it?
And I always find as soon as they try to do all these things, like when they like Trudeau did this, and this, and this, and this, and like I always find like okay, in my head I'm like, oh, he's gonna win now. Every time they try to take out a president too, like when Trump, they're like grab him by the, you know what I mean? Like, you think like, it's over. No, he won.
No,
he won.
Well, I think it's specifically to incidents like that, that in that moment, if the election was right then, that might have had an impact, right? But the problem is, before you know it, it's 3 days have gone by and there's another scandal. I mean, that's the problem. Is there's just too much.
He is the perfect storm of craziness, where like you forget about what he did because he did something else.
Well, I think sometimes
later.
If he's really in trouble, then he does something even crazier to take your mind off it. It's like really, it's almost like a strategy.
It's like how in the world has no one ever punched Trump in the face like that? Things like that blow my mind. Like there's been so many people that have been in front of him through his life. None of them said, this is my chance.
This is how Manolis deals with it.
I can drive my fist in this guy's face as hard as I can.
Yeah. It's going to be harder now, what with the Secret Service all around. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Like through his life, though?
Like, it's surprising he hasn't had more confrontations.
How's this happen?
Ginger.
Yes.
Ginger St. James. Wait, how do you feel when people start arguing about politics? When Manolis gets up on his high horse there.
I don't know. It's not a dinner table conversation, I guess.
No, not for dinner table. But do you like to have those debates with you and your friends, or do you prefer just to,
I just quietly sit and
you're
more my thumbs.
You're more like Patrick.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. I don't know. They're not my soulmates. Like they feed you BS, and then they trick you. Just like all the other relationships, and I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
That's why there are around, because they're so full of it.
You get the sense, certainly, that there's, I guess a lot of us have become a little kind of cold to the whole thing because they all seem to be cut from the same cloth at the end of the day, right?
I mean, lots of people talk about it, but I leave the table.
Yeah. Excellent.
Like, excuse me, please, I have to take a call.
Whose turn is it to get up to our Plinko table and drop a Plinko puck? Ginger, go!
All right.
Go ahead, Manolis.
And they do nothing.
And they do nothing.
Like literally, like they're nothing.
We got the K-Light winner. No?
Number 2.
The K-Light winner. That's that's from. That's who we stole it from. We stole the Plinko board from K-Light. Number 2. All right. Plus, we have a very special coming up on the show in the next few minutes. If you are thinking of leaving, don't leave yet, because we have something very special that Manolis has crafted for us. We're going to share it with Ginger. She's a singer. She's going to know all about this. Ginger St. James.
Yes.
What makes you sad?
Oh, what makes me sad?
Movies, songs?
Well, videos on animals.
Oh, animal videos on social media? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really take much to. I get sad for like a second.
Just for a second?
Just for a second.
You're generally a very up and positive person?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't. So it's not a lot, but then once in a while something like that really pulls at the heartstrings.
Your heartstrings, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just for a moment or two. Animals are your big.
Yeah, I mean, like even yesterday I was watching this uplifting movie. It was called Bob the Street Cat, and like in the beginning it wasn't uplifting at all. He was living on the street. He didn't have a home. He was pretty sad, and then
Did it get better?
I cried just for a minute though.
For a minute,
yeah,
though.
and then I applauded because it was fantastic.
Because it was
uplifting after all.
It was. Bob the Street Cat.
Bob the Street Cat.
All right, we'll have to check that out. Speaking of street cats, here's Manolis. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
What makes you sad?
Me. And there's
There's so much truth to that.
there's so much truth. If I literally don't think about myself because it's the only way I can continually exist. But there's what's the guy's name that created the Office, the TV show The Office? What's that guy's
Ricky Gervais.
He had a TV show on Netflix one season. But it was about him. I forget. I wish I knew what it was called now because I can't remember. But it was about his wife dying and him dealing with his wife.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. I forget what that was called too. It was awesome,
dude. I literally I probably cried.
It was dark and
right up my alley,
and kind of a little disturbing. But at the same time, there was a little bit of the uplift that Ginger's talking about.
It was literally
bright moments.
It was so. I've never seen something and thought afterwards like this was perfect. Like the way it flowed right from start to end. Like no rock was not unturned. It was perfect, and I cried I would say 4 times through the whole thing. Literally
much to Ginger's point, Ricky Gervais is a big animal rights activist, right? He's very involved in protecting the animals and wanting people to do more.
There you go. Makes sense now.
It all made full circle. We came full circle there, Patrick. You want to bump into this circle and really ruin it for us?
Yes.
Yeah. What makes you sad, Patrick?
I think I've mentioned this before, but you know when you see kids having fun?
Yes.
And they're all happy and they're genuinely
little
happy.
Kids, just the pure joy of childhood.
Watching that makes me sad because they have no idea it's all gonna end soon.
Oh wow!
They're never gonna be that happy.
The purest joy that you could experience.
Yeah, especially as a father, I see my daughter enjoying simple things, and I feel so bad that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta start ruining things for her. Prepare.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's certainly interesting, right? I mean, there's nothing as joyful as a child exploring just the simplest things.
Yeah.
We also laugh. Children laugh each day. It's 3 times as often as adults do. So we've already, we've driven the laughter out of our lives because kids just laugh for no reason. The silliest things make them laugh, and we put it through the strainer of all the heaviness that is in our lives, and so we just don't laugh out loud very often. And we should. We need to laugh out loud more.
I tell my nephew.
That's why we have comedians.
Through his life, I will say out of nowhere, I'm like, your parents' life would be so much better without you.
Oh wow! and it's hilarious. And everybody laughs.
Oh, he cries laughing. It's he loves it. He loves it. It's like you're laughing, but I'm not lying to you.
I do love making when you're talking to kids, you can make them laugh.
So
right? You can get so silly with them, and they just will kill
talk,
themselves laughing.
Yeah, you don't say anything you want.
Excellent. Well, I hope Friday at 420 doesn't make anyone sad. I hope it only brings you joy and laughter, or at least an odd snicker or titter. Go ahead. Whose turn is it?
Whose turn is it?
Ginger just went, I think. Didn't she? I asked her what made her sad, and she had a very uplifting answer.
12?
Manolis, number 12. We already did. No, we didn't. No, we got 12. Here we go. Topic number 12, Friday at 420. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Before we do that, let me just cue up here. So, could you briefly just explain, because I can't just start playing this because it'll freak people out. So, if you could briefly explain to Ginger and our audience what we are about to hear here, and then I'll play a little bit of it.
So, when I was 16 years old,
we've talked about this on the show before, but yeah,
my friend out of nowhere told me oh my God, did you hear it? I'm like, what? It's on Q107, they spliced all Dave Lee Roth screams all in a row, and they played it, and I'm like, what? And because I missed it, and this is 1986, so there's no way I could hear it again because I missed when they played. So a week went by, and I thought to myself, well, I get a double tape deck, nice. Ghetto Blaster, and I have all the albums on tape, so I thought, well, I'll just make it myself. So I spent literally the whole summer splicing Dave Lee Roth screams from the first album all the way up to Eat 'Em and Smile.
So just so we're clear, it's just the screams. Now, there's always background music going on as well, so it kind of feels a bit jumpy and choppy, but you were just taking where he was screaming from each song.
And start, stop, starts, and it's cut, cut perfectly in a sense, because I was so, if I screwed it up a little bit, if I got before the scream or into the scream a bit, I'd redo it. I was 16. I had was energy.
Okay, so 16-year-old Manolis.
This is on YouTube, by the way, too. After it's called
Alta. Oh, because after you hear it here, you're definitely going to want to go listen to it again.
Yeah. Ultimate David. It's called Ultimate David Lee Roth Screams on YouTube.
It's incredible.
It's the best.
It's incredible.
I need these in my collection.
It just doesn't stop. And that,
Just for like 4 minutes.
it's like 4 minutes of David Lee Roth screams.
It's like the new single.
And then these little breaks.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, like it sounds like he's falling downstairs.
Oh, there you go. Ginger St. James is a singer. How hard is it to scream like David Lee Roth?
Oh, it depends what kind of day you're having, but
Good answer.
That's an art, man.
That's
tricky.
That's some pretty phenomenal stuff there. That's David Lee Roth. That's all cut together by our own Manolis when he was 16 and didn't have a girlfriend.
Nothing's changed.
Let's see, it's still going. Oh, you can check that out on YouTube if you want there. Ultimate David Lee Roth Screams on YouTube, uploaded by Manolis. All right, here we go with our topic. I had to share that because we've talked about it a couple of
For
times.
a year. I'm like,
Yes.
we gotta let the world needs to hear this.
We wanted to share a little bit of your fine work.
If anything's gonna cause world peace, it's gonna be that. Somehow.
The only other thing that we're going to have to share at some point is your screenplay.
A star?
Yeah, we're gonna have, he's carrying it with us.
You never know. It's the worst story ever written.
Oh, the worst story ever written. Well, that brings up this topic.
Okay.
Best book you ever read.
Best. I
ever read.
could say best and maybe only
book you ever read.
But I read 2 books that I can remember in my life, and I read a book called The Chrysalids in grade 11. I thought it was pretty cool, and Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis.
Oh, I remember you saying, yeah, you like that one, right?
That was a really good, and I actually recently
Anthony
heard
Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I recently did you read the book? I
No.
recently saw an interview with some guy asking weird questions to Anthony Kiedis, and it was a cool interview. But at one point, he actually said that he regretted writing the book. For that, there was
really? Eh?
Like he wish he didn't do it because it was so much information. He let so much of his life out that he didn't realize that I think he didn't think everybody was going to read it. Like he thought it would be like a niche.
Unbeknownst to you, I've brought the David Lee Roth Screams back up. They're still going. Woo! They are still going. Anthony Kiedis, Scar Tissue is the book. Patrick Coppolino, you look like a big reader. You probably got a library card. What's the best book you ever read?
Steve Martin's Born Standing Up.
Born Standing Up by Steve. I've never read that one.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just his whole how he got into comedy.
When he burst on the comedy scene and when he was like top of the game, then he released that book called Cruel Shoes. And I was a huge Steve Martin fan, so I bought the book Cruel Shoes, which was horrible.
What was it about?
It was. I can't even tell you what it was about. It was like all these little short stories, but the short stories didn't make sense. Like Steve Martin was really wasted when he wrote them or something. You know, that kind of. Sometimes Steve Martin went down a rabbit hole on you. This whole book was a rabbit hole. So this book that you're talking about is more about his life as a stand-up, or
it says from the very beginning.
That'd be excellent.
Like he started out by doing like magic and telling jokes in his magic, and then.
He was very
evolved
unique.
into stand-up, yeah.
Very, very cool. Ginger St. James.
There's a book when I was a kid, and I can't find it, so this is good opportunity, actually. But I referred to it as a great big book of stories, and it was fairy tales.
Okay.
And they weren't fun fairy tales, like they didn't end nicely really all the time. But there was 2 different books. One of the books had, the first story was The Ugly Duckling, and it had like Snow White and Rose Red, and they were enemies and all these things. But that was my favorite book. It was all these wonderful fairy tales with tragedy and all kinds of things like that. So that's the kind of stuff I was reading.
Were they like the original fairy? Because the original Grimm's fairy tales.
It wasn't the Grimm's fairy tale series, though.
Okay, but another one like that.
It was like that.
Because Grimm's were grim. I mean, they were those original stories that Disney went and made all nice.
That's
were
right.
not nice to begin with.
No. No, these were.
So
these
this
were
was a
legit.
similar, only.
It was similar.
Only
And so
different.
I used to call it the Great Big Book of Stories. So if anybody's listening that knows that there's a pair of books and they're pretty big, the Great Big Book and a hardcover with stories like
Interesting. Yeah.
Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But that
yeah.
was my favorite book, and it just got my imagination
love
going.
that.
And I love that.
And you were okay with the fact that they were
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
twisted and.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it just
totally.
suits
just-
perfectly, doesn't it, Ginger?
for me.
Ginger St. James, our special guest in studio Friday at 4:20. We're dropping the Plinko puck. Is the David Lee Roth thing over? Oh, for the love of God, it's over. And no, it's over. It's over now. Oh, okay,
Oh, you
we're
gotta
good.
hit it.
Never happened.
Oh, no, it's stuck. Oh, there, Manolis fixed it. He just gave it a kick, like Fonzie hitting the jukebox over there. Number nine. Let's see if I got number. Yeah, here we go.
Is that?
All right.
I feel like it's a bad omen that it got stuck.
Yeah, you feel like? All right. Is this yours?
Yes.
Your topic? What's the sickest you have ever been? And I don't necessarily mean vomiting. So I mean like ill, truly ill.
Oh.
You remember? I mean, you ever have any kind of exotic flu or anything? You ever? What's the sickest the sickest you remember being? It
I'm
doesn't matter
sure I'll
what it was
remember
caused.
one later.
Yeah, you got nothing?
Uh,
Measles, mumps. You had none of those things.
No, I mean, I think I got chicken pox when I was a kid.
Chicken pox, because that's when you're a kid, man. That's nasty.
Yeah.
You're scratching and itching, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside
You
of
have
that,
no recollection of being tremendously ill.
I don't know. I diarrheaed my long johns when I was a kid. I just remember my parents shaking out my long johns over the toilet.
Oh, wow.
But that was just like
That's-
a momentary thing.
Yeah, sure it was, but a very uncomfortable thing, just the same, right?
Yeah.
Right down your leg. Oh, Lordy.
That's all I remember.
You have a lot of
I've been
bowel
pretty
movement
healthy.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You're weird that way, Patrick. Manolis, what's the sickest you've ever been?
The only thing I can think about is just like I took too many mushrooms one time. Does that count?
Well,
That felt
sure
really.
it does.
I felt really like
You were going to die. You felt
yeah,
like
I
you were
was
going
like,
to die.
I'm like, I just,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I did
This
too.
is the worst.
That moment you're like, I did too much.
Yeah.
You did too much, and you're like, you're an idiot.
Yes.
So I just remember lying on a couch and just constantly trying to breathe, and it took me about 3 hours to come back to.
Wow. And that's scary. I mean,
It
it's
was-
not, obviously it's not pleasurable, but it can be very scary.
It was just one of those like it's almost like being too high, or you're like, I didn't want to get this high. And you're like, you got to wait it out, and for like, you're like, the only thing you can do is wait.
That's it. It's got to work its way through your body.
Yeah, it's like okay,
It's a lot like being sick.
Yeah. So
Only you did it to yourself.
I did it myself. It was my own fault.
Of course you did. Self-inflicted illness. Ginger St. James, do you ever had an illness, a sickness that you remember?
Well, I don't remember this, but I was born with the measles. My mom
wow.
was like, the German measles was like they had a big outbreak, and
Yeah.
she got the measles shot, and then I came out with the measles. I think she got them too, but I
That's
don't remember that. But it
crazy,
must have been
eh?
miserable for her.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
it.
another time I had pneumonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you get pneumonia? You just
I don't know. I
Yeah?
got pneumonia, and then they gave me liquid codeine, which I thought was pretty great. And
And then I was like Manolis.
It's still good.
I've taken too much.
and then I was still sick after like a month. I'm like, what? Why am I still sick? And I went to the hospital. And I actually was overdosing on the codeine. And
wow.
and so they had to hook me up to IV. And then like magic, I didn't have pneumonia anymore. But yeah, that
That's,
sucked, and that probably sucked. Newborn baby having the measles.
Yeah,
Although I don't
yeah, no
remember that, of
kidding.
course.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that happen.
Yeah,
so that's
weird,
really
huh?
weird.
Yeah, things
eh?
like that happen to me.
Yeah, things
Yeah.
like that happen to Ginger St. James. Whose turn is it to drop a Plinko puck? We got
I think
time
it's
for
my
one, maybe two more topics here on Friday at 4:20 with our friend Ginger St. James. Visit the Casbah. Check out the ROTH shows that she throws there, and sometimes does some singing herself.
That's right.
Is there a number 5?
Number 5? Well, sure. There's always a number 5. Did we use it yet? No, we didn't.
Oh, perfect.
Number 5. Very excited when it gets this deep into the show. You never know. If you could only have one color in your house, what color would it be?
Blue.
Blue.
That's right.
Any kind of blue?
Like a turquoise. That's a nice blue. Manolis has
oh,
a
okay. He's got a nice,
nice
baby blue.
Yeah, this is
Like
about
a
a turquoise,
turquoise blue?
kind of almost turquoise, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's turquoise is your color, is it, girl?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah?
Oh,
Turquoise.
for sure.
Everything's turquoise in Ginger's house. What color is it? It's got to be black.
I guess we're gonna have to move in because blues for me
Oh,
too.
we so
Blue?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
Whoa.
this happens
Wow. Who knew?
right here. There you go.
Matchmaking at
Yeah.
420.
Next. That's what we'll try doing.
I'm a
What
huge.
color blue?
Like ocean blue, you know what I mean? Like just like a light blue, like almost like the shirt I'm wearing kind of thing, like that sky blue. I like blue, man. Blue's fun, dude. I don't know what it is about blue. It's just a fun color.
Patrick's whispering things in Manolis.
You wear it well because you're sad all the time.
Yeah, right. It's a
well,
good
isn't blue is not? Yeah, it's not a. It's why I get. There can be warm blues, but isn't blue kind of a blue color for the house? Wouldn't that leave you feeling a little down? No,
it calms me down.
Yeah.
Does it?
It just calms me down.
Ginger, you feel it lifts you up?
I do.
That turquoise blue. Patrick.
Honestly, if it had to be a color, mine would be blue too.
Oh, really?
But if not, I'm a big fan of all white.
Just
I know
white.
some people don't like those, but you know those like modern, like minimalist, like you see those condos, like everything's white and it's open concept.
Modern,
like I love that.
Love that, nice and clean and crisp looking.
Yeah.
And
mine wouldn't stay clean for more than a
that's
day.
the problem, right?
But I think it looks really nice.
It does look very nice. Yes, I'd be more inclined to be I'm in the purple category, so which has some blue in it, but I love purples. So cool. Purple's cool. Thank you, Manolis. He's now commenting on my answers. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool answer.
Purple's
Mike.
rad, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Time for one more quick topic before we let Ginger St. James get back to what she does best. Oh, you missed the board completely, Manolis. Wow. Holy! How do you miss the Plinko board completely?
Yeah.
Number 1. We haven't done one.
Well, yeah, we did one. Yeah. Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Oh, here we go. Last topic on Friday at 4:20. Favorite shoes.
Nike, what are these? Nike Airs, right? Air Max.
Nike Air Max.
Yeah, that's why I wear it, believe it or not.
Expensive for them.
They're work out. They're between $150 to $200.
That's
usually.
A lot of money for a pair of shoes.
Yeah, but they last forever, man.
They last forever.
They're like it's like I can't like I'd rather wear Converse, but if after 2 days of Converse, my back hurts.
So Nike Air Max.
Yeah, my back doesn't bother me.
Because I'm sure Nike needs
I wear
a plug.
like teenager shoes for old man, just so my
right.
so I can continually walk. You know?
So you can continue to act like a teenager. Patrick Coppolino.
The shoes I have on right now.
Yeah, what are they?
They're just like, I don't know. They're New Balance. Yes. Manolis gave them to me because until like I've had these for like 4 months now, and that's the longest time I've ever had a pair of shoes because I used to always buy like $30 shoes from Payless or Walmart,
right.
And like they'd last like a month.
I know.
And these are still. I could probably get a good year out of these.
Look at that. Why did you have them to give to him, Manolis? That's what the interesting question, really.
But before I got into Air Max, I found these New Balances, and they were like, "Oh, these are really good." Like, I'm like all about comfort, man. This is good for my back. And then 2 days, 3 days of that, I'm like, they weren't that good. So then I found the Air Max, and I'm like, they should. I feel like I'm doing a commercial.
yeah, a little bit. You guys have the same size feet? That's weird.
I think mine's.
These are a little tight on me.
Okay. Ginger St. James, are you a big shoe person?
Yeah, I like comfort too. So Converse for me or cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah, cowboy boots.
See, I wear cowboy boots every day. I know,
That's
and
right.
I'm telling you, once you wear cowboy boots, you may never go back because it's in the summer they don't get too hot. In the winter they don't get too cold. I mean,
it's just right.
I'm telling you, cowboy boots are the way to go, Ginger. You and I, there we go. Now we're soulmates.
I know.
See how that worked?
I love it. See,
I just stole you from Manolis.
Soulmates.
Soulmates.
We're having a party. Patrick, call your wife.
Oh, Ginger St. James, it's been awesome having you hang with us. Thank you so much for doing this edition of Friday at 420.
Woo, thank you for having me.
And is there some place people can follow you on social media, see what you're up to, see what's going on with your shows? Where how do we follow you?
Sure. Well, I mean, you can always Google me, Ginger St. James.
Okay.
And for listings at the Casbah, www.casbahlounge.ca. And the show listings are up there. There's always good things going on besides just the ones I put on. So,
okay.
Yeah, man.
And then there's the ones that you put on, and then sometimes you're the one doing the singing.
That's right.
And follow Ginger St. James, would you people? And Manolis, you got a card you want to plug
Miggs. Can you read that? Is that what's the name of this?
Yeah.
Ming's
Dynasty. It's streaming on GEM, the CBC streaming service. Ming's Dynasty, and the fellow's name is his name's not on here.
Calvin Shergold.
Calvin Shergold is a friend of yours, and he's doing Ming's Dynasty.
Yeah, check it out.
Check it out, man.
They're going to do a live Ming's Dynasty at Levity Comedy Club and Lounge.
Get out of here! See how it all works out?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And now Patrick got his plug in too. That's great.
Yeah, we don't have a date set yet, but he stopped by the club the other day.
Levity Comedy Club and Lounge. That's where Patrick hangs out, and you can see him out front putting the sandwich board out every Friday night before the show. Pro shows Friday and Saturday night. Amateur night Wednesday night. Manolis usually jumps up there and tries some stuff out, and then I guess you got. Is karaoke still going on?
Depends when this airs.
Okay,
I mean, this is live.
Yes,
so
yeah. Well, there might be karaoke. Go to levitycomedyclub.com.
to find out.
You'll find out all the details of what's going on at the Levity Comedy Club. Hey, thanks everybody.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, thank you, dude. It was awesome. And most of all, thank you to all of you for listening to this Friday at 420. Until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, have an awesome weekend.
Woo!